making no apologies. That's it, umhlaba mawuhlulwe, so that our people can have access to the land.
Life is difficult, but you must soldier on. Don't give up. If you are a coward, you don't belong here.
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to Simple Politics. Yo, there is so much that has happened today. I can't even keep up. I have not even started with the ad hoc committee because there is so much that has happened today. So the house of Hangwani Memela was raided by the special investigating unit, where they took the cars, the Lamborghinis, I don't know what else they took, fine. And then the chief of staff of Minister Senzo Mkhwanazi had a press briefing today. General Mkhwanazi said quite a lot about him yesterday, but also now he claims Uguti, if anything happens to him, it's because of Masemola. His life is in danger. Hey, bana. Wara. There's quite a few things that he says which I want us to get into, because I listened to that entire press briefing. Then General Sibiya, also we thought he was getting arrested. The police went there to his house. He's saying that his mother is there, his kids are there, they don't deserve what's happening. Yeah, so he says that his mother was there, they don't deserve what's happening to them. Well, okay, let me not comment. But like, what must happen? What must happen if you are supposed to be? So he's saying they are not fair. He feels betrayed. He feels hurt by his colleagues doing this to him. It's like he's not a senior official at the SAPS to be treated like this. Yay, there is quite a lot. I also listened to his entire briefing. Let's get right into it. I want to start with the chief of staff of Senzo Mkhwanazi, and I want us to just listen to each and everything, like to discuss everything that he was saying one by one, because I actually wrote some points down. And let's first start back to what General Mkhwanazi was saying. So General Mkhwanazi said yesterday, Uguti, when Nkabinde was appointed as the chief of staff, he was unemployed, which he says General Mkhwanazi is lying. He was unemployed, and when he was appointed as the chief of staff, he says General Mkhwanazi, he does not qualify for that position. He did not even know what a chief of staff does. That's what General Mkhwanazi said. Yeah, so okay, fine. Now the chief of staff, he says Uguti, they're busy fishing. He says that the police came to his flat and they had baraclav at 7 p.m. And his brother opened, and his brother was I don't want to say assaulted, rather assaulted or injured in the process, and he told him to go to the hospital. Guys, are we in a movie? What's happening? So he's saying, Ubana, this is the same thing that Masemola says. Uguti, he's also going to appear before the Madlanga Commission and the ad hoc. And now what they are trying to do about General Mkhwanazi, they are trying to intimidate them, they are trying to distract them, and that's not going to happen. So now, when they raided the house, and did they take their phones, they raided the house of Nkabinde last night, today. So they took their phones, but they took his laptop, they took his phone, his 4 phones. Who has 4 phones, son? So now they are saying Uguti, because they took their phones, they've got evidence in those phones, so they hope that they don't delete the evidence in that phone, because Bona or General Mkhwanazi has got a chance to appear before the Madlanga Commission and the ad hoc committee, and no one disturbed them, no one did anything. But in Bona, they are not giving them a fair chance. They are trying to distract them. Hebetun ogon the city yo CP So okay, let's go back to the chief of staff Qala, before I get to Sibiya. Sorry, Sibiya. So Sibiya says, the chief of staff says, Nkabinde, he's saying that I was employed when Minister Mkhwanazi hired me. I'm qualified to be a chief of staff. He says that he's got a BCom degree, I don't know in what, but he says that he is qualified to be in the job. He's got the necessary requirements and he's got experience. Now he's trying to answer that part of General Mkhwanazi where he said that he did not even have experience. Then he says that Nkabinde says Mkhwanazi was a very close friend of his. They partied together, and General Mkhwanazi is lying. General Mkhwanazi did explain to yesterday that he worked very closely with Nkabinde. That's how he knows that he doesn't have experience for that job. And also when Nkabinde went to that job, he asked him. He didn't even know what the chief of staff his role was. And then Nkabinde says, now this part confuses me though, when he says that if anything happens to me, you must know that it's Masemola. Yeah, because Masemola is the national, or maybe unless he's saying Masemola would want to unalive him. But what would be the reason for Masemola to unalive the chief of staff, Nkabinde? That part left me. I don't understand why. When he says, if anything happens to me, you must know that it's Masemola. And he also says with the same breath, when the police came into his house, they were wearing balaclava, they were covering his face. So he says, why are they covering their faces? And he's saying, why are they covering their faces? Like, because they're supposed to do, like what are they hiding, basically? He also went as far as saying, we know that police can plant drugs or firearms in your house while they pretend to be raiding it. So why are they covering their faces? Also, he says, he said something they were sent by Masemola. He asked them because they were sent, who sent them. They said Masemola. So someone says, if they were wearing balaclava and they barged in, how do you get a chance to ask armed people that are barging in? Who sent you? Yeah, so someone is asking who's lying? Is that true? Okay, fine. So yeah, so he says he fears for his life. Now this is the chief of staff. The same thing that Sibiya said, Shadrack Sibiya, I fear for my life or whatever. I'm thinking they are trying to push, sometimes doing a media brief, this media, it's not good. Because when you do these things, we find holes in what you are trying to say. And when you keep quiet, sometimes it's good because we don't know what you are saying. So, so he says that I fear for my life. Sibiya said as well, I fear for my life, or my life is in danger. So I think they're trying to paint a narrative of their lives are in danger, they are being targeted, they're not given a fair chance to defend themselves, they're not being treated fairly. Sibiya went as far as saying he's hurt, he feels betrayed. So they are coming with that victim mentality to the public. Is it gonna work? I don't know. My like Sibiya was saying, my children were there and my mom is sick and she was there, she has to go through this. So I think they want the public to sympathize with them. Yo. So okay, but now what this guy says, which I think he shouldn't have said, this chief of staff, he says this. He's asking a question about Brown Mkhwanazi. Do you know? I don't know if he was asked a question directly to him, or does he know Brown Mkhwanazi? Okay, this question was, what's the relationship between Brown Mkhwanazi and the minister? Which, if the question was, what is the relationship between the minister and Brown Mkhwanazi, he should have said, I can't answer that. So I think he was actually asked a question about Brown Mkhwanazi. So he goes and says, which I think he should not have said this. He goes and says Brown Mkhwanazi is just a guest visiting the minister. Or he was asked if he knows Brown Mkhwanazi. Aha. So they asked him, do you know Brown Mkhwanazi? He should have just said yes or no. So he explains ukuthi Brown Mkhwanazi is a guest visiting the minister just like any other guest. I know him because I set these meetings up for them, and again, this is just a normal, he's not a friend of the minister. He explains this is not a friend, he's not an associate to the minister, he's a normal guest just like any other party. That's what he says. But minister said in the beginning this person was a friend. Then he said this person was a comrade. So I don't think he should have entered in that territory. He should have just said, yes, it's either I know Brown Mkhwanazi, I set the meetings, finish. Now he's trying to protect and defend the minister. Ukuthi Brown Mkhwanazi is not the friend of the minister. What? That was unnecessary. And now the question is, oh, now you are saying he's a guest. The minister said he's a friend. When you are saying he's not an associate. Yabo? Fine. So he's also asked Ukuthi is still the chief of staff. He said, yes, I'm still the chief of staff, which I think he is lying. He's saying that him and Nkachali reached an agreement that, okay, fine, he can take a break and focus on the Madlanga Commission. I think he's lying there, because Mkhwanazi touched on this yesterday and said when Kachalia came into to the position, he told him that chief of staff that you've got there, that guy is a very, very bad guy. And Kachalia apparently didn't listen until he went, I don't know, until he went where he came back and they removed him. Fine. Now let's get to Shadrack Sibiya's part. Nana. South Africa is a movie. Haibo. Phofu uhangwane memela ngapha naye phofu ties kuRamaphosa, but I see the media is not mentioning that part. I even forget sometimes that uhangwane is linked to the president, even though the president said he didn't know him. Yena ngapha is iLamborghini zade zithathiwe. So Deputy National Commissioner Sibiya, Shadrack Sibiya, he's saying that what is happening is just an abuse of power. I think this is why he probably wanted to go back as well, so that he can have control of what's happening. He's saying what is happening is an abuse of power. He feels like he's not being treated fairly. Then he says that now his a lawyer is also getting a chance to speak in between. I heard him say something and I'm like, so his lawyer says, you are also being attacked and accused. And General Mkhwanazi said something about News 24 and all these outlets, they are being used as well, like so and they must be investigated. That's what he said. So this lawyer is teaming up with the journalist. This thing can happen to anyone. You are also under attack. Tomorrow is gonna be the judiciary. The next day it's gonna be it could be anyone. So now he's trying to say I stand with you guys against this guy. So let's team up. Yeah, betunan. So the Deputy National Commissioner Sibiya says, as I said, he's saying this exercise is meant to confuse me. I thought they were gonna arrest me. I'm still waiting to see why they didn't arrest me. They said that arrest is imminent since last year. So why haven't they arrested me? That's what he was saying, Sibiya. And then the journalist asked him, are you angry? He says, no, I'm not angry, but I'm hurt. I feel like my colleagues have betrayed me. Like they're treating me like someone that they don't know. He even went far and saying, the last time I spoke to Masemala, were you okay? Like, I don't know why he's treating me like this now. I don't know why he's treating me like... I feel like they're treating me like someone that they don't know. That's he's coming with that victim card, sympathy, a phishing card. Hey. So he says they must not come. This is another thing that he said, which is very interesting. He says that if they want to arrest him, they must speak to the lawyer so that the lawyer can be present. He says that when they're trying to arrest him, they mustn't come at 3 a.m. in the morning, because what can happen and what would happen is they are going to say he tried to reach for his gun and then they shoot him. So they must come at the normal hours. That's what he said. And then they say then he says, like, where they shoot me and say they thought I was reaching out for my gun, so they mustn't come during the night. So he says that his life is also in danger. So the journalist asked, "Would in danger from the SAPS?" So he says yes. So I don't know, guys. Like, I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. There is a lot going on in South Africa. It's scary. Yesterday we were listening to the things of Paul O'Sullivan and what. I like, people can say the adult committee is not effective, what, but we have not had this shake-up. And people can say General Mkhwanazi shouldn't have done that press briefing. Yeah, it's good that he did it. Like, I feel like the whole country is upside down. And while the country is burning and it's upside down, there is one person who you would swear does not live in South Africa. Uramapas, Aibo. You would swear that the president does not live here. Akakhathalanga noma kuyatsha ekhantrini yakhe. Uyeva? Akakhathalanga noma kuyatsha ekhantrini yakhe. I think his strategy is to ignore or to pretend like nothing is happening. Aibo, guys. So it's crazy. So thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. That's all I wanted to share. If you don't know who I am, my name is Izipolo Belwana. Please subscribe to this channel. It is free of charge. Let me know what you think about South Africa right now. Hi, South Africa. Hi, guys. And unfortunately, South Africa is burning. South Africa is upside down. Hi, bo. Let's meet in the comment section, guys. Anyway, aluta continua. Until the next time.